In the early dawn of September 1781, the quiet mist shrouding Yorktown was thick with tension of imminent battle. The air was heavy with the scent of gunpowder and anticipation as the American and French forces prepared for a confrontation that would mark an important chapter in the quest for independence. The day promised a clash that would echo through history as the stakes were nothing less than the birth of a nation. General George Washington, the steadfast leader of the Continental Army, alongside his esteemed French ally, General Rochambeau, coordinated a formidable assembly of multinational forces. The American and French troops, united in their purpose and resolve, meticulously surrounded the strategic port of Yorktown. Here, British General Lord Charles Cornwallis and his troops were fortified, their confidence high, yet blind to the impending Allied storm that was gathering with each passing hour. Cornwallis, a seasoned and celebrated commander, found himself in an increasingly precarious situation, cornered by land and blockaded by sea. The French fleet, commanded with precision by the adept Admiral de Grasse, dominated the Chesapeake Bay, severing any hope for British reinforcements or retreat by water. The naval mastery displayed by de Grasse ensured that Cornwallis's fate was tied to the land he stood on, with no chance of escape. With meticulous planning and strategic acumen, Washington and Rochambeau orchestrated a full-scale siege that commenced on September 28th. The Allied forces methodically began the encirclement of Yorktown, positioning their artillery with calculated precision. The cannons, lined up as if on a parade, were on a formidable sight, primed to unleash a barrage that would devastate the British fortifications. The siege intensified on October 9th, marking the beginning of a relentless artillery bombardment that continued day and night. The sky was continuously ablaze with the fiery arcs of cannonballs that rained down destruction upon the British defenses. Each explosion was a thunderous declaration of the Allies' determination, with every blast tearing through the British lines and bringing the American dream of liberty even closer to fruition. The most important moment of the siege came under the cover of darkness on the night of October 14th. In a daring and coordinated assault, American and French troops stormed Redoubts 9 and 10. The night erupted into fierce combat, the air thick with the shouts of men and the harsh clash of bayonets against the British defenses. By dawn, these critical positions were under Allied control, significantly weakening the British defense line and morale. As the siege wore on, Cornwallis watched with growing despair as his fortifications crumbled under the unyielding Allied assault. Despite several desperate attempts to break the encirclement and regain the upper hand, the British were systematically outmaneuvered and overwhelmed. Cornwallis's options dwindled as his situation grew increasingly dire, with his forces fatigued and his supplies depleted. Finally, on October 19, 1781, after enduring nearly a month of constant bombardment and with no viable options remaining, Cornwallis conceded to the inevitable. Extending a white flag over the smoldering battlefield, he initiated negotiations for surrender. The subsequent terms, drafted under the watchful eyes of the Allied commanders, required the British to lay down their arms, a scene that symbolized not just a monumental military defeat, but the crumbling of the British aspirations to quell the American spirit. The surrender at Yorktown transcended mere military victory. It was the definitive blow that paved the way for the end of the Revolutionary War. The ensuing peace negotiations culminated in the Treaty of Paris in 1783, which recognized the sovereignty of the United States of America, confirming the birth of a nation conceived in liberty and dedicated to the pursuit of self-governance. From the fields of Yorktown emerged not just a new nation, but a new concept of governance, born from the ideals of liberty and forged in the fires of resolve and profound alliances. Here, where the roar of cannons eventually fell silent, the echoes of freedom rang out, resonating across the land and heralding the dawn of a new era for America, an era of self-determined freedom and a beacon of hope for future generations. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, And if you have any suggestions on other topics to cover or how we covered this topic, please leave it in the comments.